Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Planet of the Apes hit theaters in 1968 and showed us all that you could make a tantalizing sci-fi thriller, not overburdened with CGI and explosives, but with costumes, makeup, and one heck of a story.
Do you like it?
At this point, they've returned to this philosophical epic time and time again.
Take your stinking hands off me, you damn dirty human!
But the original is visually impactful and leaves us with possibly the greatest cliffhanger of all time.
You maniacs! You blew it up!
The film follows astronauts who crash land in a very mysterious place where apes are the higher intelligence, and what we might call humans are now hunted and treated like any other wild animal. What follows is certainly one of the better science fiction movies ever crafted. Nostalgic Nick here with Do You Remember? And today we're heading back to the Planet of the Apes to see what this incredible cast got into, even the ones covered in ape costuming. If you enjoy our deep dive, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a beat.
Damn you, you dirty ape!
Charlton Heston. George Taylor is the astronaut commanding in experimental space exploration, so I guess he does subpar as his team crash lands on the strange Planet of the Apes. His snapback at his captors is one of the more famous snippets from the film, and Heston does a really great job leading the picture with his grizzled charisma and star power. The guy first began acting in 1941, his breakthrough was 1952 when he starred in The Greatest Show on Earth.
Who took that net down?
He did. You went up against?
Too late now, he's ready to go.
Cast by the Cecil B. DeMille himself. 4 years later, he re-teamed with Cecil, playing Moses in the religious epic The Ten Commandments.
Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come to me.
And I know some of you watch that one at least once a year, so let me know in the comments if that's you. He rounded out the 50s with another epic, William Wyler's Ben-Hur. The 1960s were just as fruitful, highlighted by The Agony and the Ecstasy in 1965, and of course Planet of the Apes. The 70s were dreadful though, I'm just kidding, they were great. Some favorites include 1973's Soylent Green, which makes you ask, what is the secret of Soylent Green?
Silent Green is people!
And in 1976, he and Henry Fonda played out some history in Midway. Truly a phenomenal film. From 1985 to 87, it was pretty cool to see Heston as a regular on TV, starring in The Colbys. Then, together with his son, they produced and starred in a number of TV movies, including his son writing and directing 1990's Treasure Island, starring Dad and a young Christian Bale.
I don't care two coppers who he is. He ain't paid his bill.
Charlton married his wife Lydia all the way back in 1944, whom he shared his life with for the remainder of his years. Sadly, he dealt with a lot of health troubles later in life. First, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 1998, and after radiation, he went into remission. However, in 2002, he disclosed his diagnosis of Alzheimer's, and the influential and highly prolific actor died in April of 2008 at the age of 84. Gone, but never forgotten. Maurice Evans. This evolved orangutan politician served as the Minister of Science for the ape civilization. He heads the courts and denies Heston on every single claim.
Silence her! You go too far!
He is the necessary villain and is terrific in the film. Maurice Evans began acting back in the 20s and is a classically trained British stage actor. The guy dominated the stage and was a part of some great films like Kind Lady in 1951 and Rosemary's Baby in 1968. But I think most people remember him from TV, from Tarzan in the late 60s to Bewitched as Samantha's father, aptly named Maurice. His final film role was the 1979 Steve Martin breakthrough The Jerk. Evans returned to England to live out his remaining years and died there on March 12, 1989. Roddy McDowell. Dr. Cornelius is a chimpanzee scientist who's skeptical of the humans at first, but he follows Zira's view and eventually helps prove that Taylor and the other humans are intelligent species.
Well, Taylor, we're all fugitives now.
Truly, McDowell and the other apes shine in this film, showing emotion behind all that costume and prosthetic, which I think is pretty incredible. Roddy began acting in the late 30s when he was just a child, first in England before moving to the US. Some of his best-known early work includes 1942's On the Sunny Side and 1943's Lassie Come Home, where he first worked with a young Elizabeth Taylor, and their friendship would be lifelong. He said of her in an interview, quote, "She was an 8-year-old perfection, absolutely ravishingly beautiful. So beautiful, in fact, that I began to laugh, because that sort of takes your breath away." In 1963, he played Octavian in his BFF Liz Taylor's Cleopatra, and he followed that with 1968's The Legend of Robin Hood playing Prince John. Aside from being a prolific actor, McDowell was also a recognized and talented photographer. Roddy published 5 books of photographs, featuring profile interviews of celebrities and close friends like Liz Taylor, Judy Garland, Maureen O'Hara, Katharine Hepburn, and Lauren Bacall. The great Harry McDowell died in October of 1998 at the age of 70. James Daly. This ape senator serves as a prosecutor for the Science Council during Taylor's trial. He's smug and snarky in his dialogue, and if he had it his way, George would be lobotomized.
Why do men have no souls? What is the proof that a divine spark exists in the simian brain?
James Daly stepped into the entertainment biz in the early 50s with a big break in the TV show Foreign Intrigue in the mid-50s. And he returned to TV for one of his final mainstay jobs, playing Chad Everett's superior in the great show Medical Center, and was scheduled to appear in the play Equus at the historic Westchester Theater, when he died suddenly of a heart attack at age 59. But the actor lives on through his children, both of whom you certainly know. Tim Daly, aka Joe Montgomery Hackett from the show Wings, and his daughter Tyne Daly, who played the Lacey half of the famed Cagney and Lacey. Seriously, what a talented family. Linda Harrison. Nova is a human who was captured in the same hunting expedition as Taylor. Her blood is used in a transfusion to save Taylor, who was critically injured, the two developing a mutual attraction. And although Nova doesn't utter a word of dialogue, she is utterly stunning and iconic. Linda Harrison was a model and beauty queen before beginning to act in the 60s, first playing a cheerleader on a few episodes of Batman for season 1. After becoming Nova, she co-starred in the series Bracken's World, but this was followed with a termination suit, as Harrison and a number of others contested that they were wrongfully terminated from 20th Century Fox. They claimed they were subjected to humiliation and embarrassment, and the suit was settled out of court. One of Harrison's few recent roles was playing Susan in Cocoon and its sequel in 1988. Today, she is 77 years old and resides on the eastern shore of her home state of Maryland. Louwagner. Lucius is Zira's rebellious nephew who critiques the actions of the older generation and tags along with Taylor. He is really quite funny in the film.
Sorry, Lucius. You've got to stay here and guard the camp.
Always giving orders, just like every other adult.
The great Louwagner began acting in the mid-60s and guest starred on a number of shows like Dragnet and Happy Days. But he is best known as the handy-dandy mechanic from Chips. And for more than a decade, he was the professor for a recurring McDonald's campaign. Today, Lou is in his mid-70s, and I'm sure he's still playing roles much younger than he is, as the skilled actor stands at just 5'2". Kim Hunter. Dr. Zira is a chimpanzee psychologist and veterinarian who specializes in the study of humans. She eventually helps Taylor escape, and I think Zira may be the best part of the entire film. Kim Hunter stepped onto the scene in the early 40s. Her very first starring role came in the 1946 British fantasy film A Matter of Life and Death. Then in 1947, she starred in the original Broadway production of A Streetcar Named Desire. She reprised her for the 1951 film version, which earned her an Academy Award. Hunter also played Humphrey Bogart's leading lady in 1952's Deadline USA. However, shortly after, she was blacklisted from Hollywood after suspicions of communism. She persevered and continued acting, albeit in much smaller one-off roles, like the Alfred Hitchcock Hour and Bonanza. Hunter also appeared in a number of radio and TV soap operas. Her final film role in a major motion picture was in Clint Eastwood's 1997 Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. This incredible actress died in September of 2002 of a heart attack at the age of 79. But with 2 films in the Library of Congress, A Streetcar Named Desire and Planet of the Apes, I'm sure Kim Hunter will never be forgotten. And there they are, the cast of one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time.
And the Earth is ruled by damn dirty apes!
One that sparked a franchise that continues to this day, with some good and some terrible installments along the way. So now I want to know, is the 1968 original the best of the bunch? Psst, of course it is. But what other film from the franchise do you enjoy? I'll be honest, I actually like the 2011 James Franco one that sparked the newest trilogy. But what about you? Get in the comments and tell me that and your favorite part of the original Planet of the Apes. As always, if you enjoyed our rewind, please hit the thumbs up icon. And don't forget to subscribe for more throwbacks like this. But from all of us here at Do You Remember, we want to thank you for watching.